Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee with thebrendonlee.com in support of consciousness and skill worldwide. In this video, I want to talk to you about consciousness in business. This query comes from my forum. If you want to check out the forum and go ask questions, it helps me create content for you and also deliver value to the people asking the questions. Check out my website, thebrendonlee.com/forum. Check the links in the description. Hi all, I already asked Peter Ralston, my teacher and mentor, a similar question. However, Brendan and other members' perspectives will be helpful or may be helpful. So I'm going to start an online business on self-actualization and spirituality, basically sharing the results of my study and research. At first, inspiring others, hopefully with interesting ideas, is going to be the goal. Inspiring others with interesting ideas is going to be the goal. In the process, I wondered, what's the relationship marketing has to do with a conscious business? By this, I mean, what's conventionally considered conscious? What's marketing really? And a euphemism for manipulation, lying, or something different? Is success ultimately determined by how effectively you manipulate others, besides offering a good service or product, etc.? And what are the business principles to be followed? How to be effective in this domain. So these are some questions. So cool. Thank you very much for writing in. First query. What's the relationship marketing has to a conscious business? By this, I mean, what's conventionally considered conscious? All right. Well, as far as I can tell, marketing is like getting a message out about your business, or, I'm not actually certain about what marketing is in a certain sense, because I've read a lot of books on the subject. It's there's advertising is like running ads. Marketing is like the whole domain or strategy by which how you determine which ads go out and when, or like how you get the message out, basically. You see, so getting the message out is like marketing your business or presenting it to others. How I hold it is, if you go to the farmer's market, there is food laid out there. You can pick and choose what food to get. And it's presented a certain way. It's like in a stall or whatever. And marketing is the what has people doing that? I might post a flyer about farmers markets and come see my farm. And that's also an activity that occurs within marketing. So marketing seems like the overall principle for that. Now, what's its relationship to business? Well, it depends really. When you say a conscious business, it depends on what you're talking about, because the way I hold it, some people have consciousness as engaging in some sort of belief system about, or cosmology about, what's true, and bringing people, getting you to believe what I say and then feel good about what I say. Now, that's all well and good, but that's sort of in the direction of like a religion or having followers, or just getting people to buy into some fantasy that feels good. Now, in the business that I do, the business of getting people conscious is about getting people conscious, about having them have a breakthrough and insight in their own experience that is not a concept. See? Or it's not a belief system. It's about what is, you see? Or empowering other people so that now they have more power than they had previously. And not like a thought about having more power, not a belief about having more power, but they're actually more powerful, clear, present, alive, awake human beings, like demonstrably so. So that's how I hold what a conscious business is. Now, and again, I'm just sort of sharing my perspective and viewpoint here. One of the challenges I face in trying to present a conscious business to other people is it is very easy and perhaps very tempting to want to tell people some shit that they want to hear that's good, so that they feel good, so that they buy my service, product or service, you see? Now in this case, it's a service. I serve other human beings in the domain of consciousness and skill. That's what I'm up to. So I could lie about it. I could tell people useful shit that they want to hear to get them to join in. Or I could try to fake my way to advertising, put up a front. Now, what the problem with that is, in terms of being conscious, is I am oriented toward, and it seems like the biggest selling point for the work that I do is the authenticity with which it is presented. You see, so then how do you authentically market becomes a question, and a challenging one. And one of my best solutions for that so far is what I call, not what I call, but what I've heard about, called education-based marketing. And a couple companies right away that come up that I know about to do this, aside from all of the advertising and all the other bullshit, is Apple and Lululemon. When you go into an Apple store, there's not a bunch of skeezy salesmen that attack you to try to sell you a product. They let the product sell itself. These people come in, they're genuinely interested in the product, and they will educate you about what that product does. The same with Lululemon. You go in there, I used to work there, just as an aside, and the way that they would have us talk to people is just tell them about how awesome the product is. And they are awesome. Anybody that is an athlete and is into Lululemon, they know. The engineering that goes behind it is great. And you see, I'm even telling you about it now. See, so you might even get excited a little bit or want to check them out. Why? Well, because of my enthusiasm for the product, and it's authentic enthusiasm. And so when I share in this way, that, as far as I can tell, that can come across authentically. I can authentically share value that I get from doing the work that I do. I can authentically tell you about it, and then I just leave it there. And that seems to be, like they say, education-based marketing. You see, or it's kind of like what you see is what you get. If authenticity is the goal, that kind of has to be the case. Now, is it tempting to want to lie in marketing? Or it's like, I want to say something so that I can get more people in? Of course, I want to get more people in. But the way I go about doing that, as best I can, is straightforward. And so if authenticity is the main selling point, which it is for my business, then I have to be authentic about it. So that's what I have about what the relationship between marketing and a conscious business. Now, again, it depends on what you're calling conscious. See, that can vary from person to person. So marketing really? See, what is marketing really? Well, it is a manipulation, just like everything is a manipulation, or at least the way we hold manipulation ontologically. I'm manipulating my body right now. I am doing things. It's like the doing of things within this experience that we have. You see, so all marketing is a manipulation, and or it could be a communication, I suppose, but it's usually designed to entice, to present, to boost, and people that are good at it, really good at it, the main focus of their marketing is to manipulate the emotions of the other person, not necessarily what they think, but how they feel. Like if you look at advertisements for all those, you see the drug advertisements, they have this beautiful music and it's outside, and then it runs through this list of, well, you could die, it could fuck up your liver, destroy your kidneys, your kids will be deformed, and these could be all the problems, and check your doctor and go buy this medicine. And it's all nice to generate the feeling, because they know that if they can manipulate your feelings, you're more likely to buy. See, I've read a lot of books on business marketing and stuff like that, and that's the thing. And I start to watch, it's like, oh yeah, it's all about the feelings, how to make you feel. So in that case, straight up manipulation and bullshit. I call bullshit on that. Why? Because it's like saying this is a nice thing, but then there's all this bullshit side effects and they don't tell you. Or like credit card companies, you can buy into this, but here's all these terms and conditions, and and they say it in a fast voice so you can't really follow what it's saying. So then they cover their ass. They're not just straight anymore. It's not really straight to the point, authentic marketing, in my opinion. It's like, let me manipulate you because most people are stupid with money. And if I get a credit card, they're going to overcharge, not pay it off, and then just pay interest. And then just, it's like a money machine. Here, buy. But marketing really, at its core seems to be getting the word out. In whatever way you do that, lying or not lying. I am marketing my business. I bring my business to you, or at least present to you in some way so that then you have an opportunity, or of its existence. That's marketing. Hey, we're doing a thing over here. See, I could do word of mouth. I could do flyers. I could do internet advertisements. I could do all these different avenues, which essentially, what is it? It's some sort of communication, trying to get the message out to other human beings, clients or prospective customers. Hey, we're doing a thing. We're offering something. Come do it. See, that's what it is as its core. Now, you could call it, and it is a manipulation in a sense, which is to say you're doing something, and could also be a communication, or it could be a lie. But whatever way it is, it's getting a message out about your business or about some opportunity. What are the business principles to be followed? Well, all businesses need to make money. You have to deal with money. It's one way or another that you must, as a business, you must deal with money. So, a successful business makes more money than it spends. That is the number one bottom line. If you don't have that, you don't have a business. Then you need a product or a service or something to offer of value to other people that they then pay you money for. And that's business. Now, that's it, as far as I can tell. Now, there are some principles that seem to allow for successful business, or at least some dynamics that seem to occur, based on my own investigation again, and listening to other people who are more successful in business than I am, like, Elon Musk, for example, or Steve Jobs. You say, they focus on the product or the service. Make sure that your product or service is top of the line. Make sure that you are offering the best, that you really put a lot of attention on giving value to your customers. So you have to follow that. Otherwise, people pay for what they value. You need to give them value in many different ways. See, or one way that really works, whatever. See, but keep creating ways to deliver value to your customers, and then ask them for money for that. Those are the principles for business. Now, another thing that I've heard that does seem useful is for businesses to operate smoothly, you need systems, and businesses are run by people and systems. Again, this is what I hear tell from my own investigations. You see, you could hold the question, what is business made of, or how is it constructed? You see, I myself, a person, work with another person, Peter Ralston, and then people come, I work with them, we work with people, they get value, they pay money, they go away. You see, we have a service, a product, a service, basically, a workshop that people perceive as valuable. They come in, they do the workshop, they pay money, they get that delivered to them, they go away. That is the thing. Now, in the background of that is lots of communications with clients. So we need a communication system, a way of tracking the money. Now, other people who are smarter than me will track things. They might run advertisements. They're tracking how those advertisements are working. They know how many people are on their mailing list, etc., etc. All these things. They have a tracking system. And then if you're going to run a team, you need a system for how those teams are run. And then even more background and perhaps overarching and governing. These are some things that I like to consider for myself. Are one, operating with integrity is another big one for me. Not lying to people, or don't promise something. If you promise something, deliver it, aka keep your word. That's refreshing. A lot of people don't do that. Do what you say you're going to do. This is another principle I believe to be followed. Also, honesty, being straightforward and transparent are also qualities that I like to see in businesses and that I do my best to espouse in my own business. Yeah, those are some things. But the fundamentals are you have to provide something to people of value and they pay you for it, and you have to make more than you spend. Like that, otherwise no business. And then everything else. You see, and then if you want to discover more about business principles, start to look at businesses that you appreciate and then ask yourself, what is it that you appreciate about that business? You see, like for example, when I call, there's a car dealership here near San Antonio. I call them, I get a human being on the phone. And then they send me to another human being on the phone. Let me put you through to them. Bam, 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 human. How refreshing is that? You see? I like that. So much so that I would make comment. It's rare these days. It's like, find ways to stand out to your clients. Find businesses that you like and ask yourself, what is it that they're doing? How do they think? How are they presenting themselves that comes across as powerful, high integrity, a business that you trust? You see, because now especially, here's another thing. In the consciousness business, trust is huge. Your reputation is huge. Never violate that. Let that sink in. Do not fuck with your reputation. Because, with a Mercedes, you can go buy a Mercedes, but you trust Mercedes as a company, don't you? They also have a reputation for being high quality automobiles, right? You see, how did they get that reputation? Well, they stayed true to what it is they're trying to create. If Mercedes somehow turned out like junk cars, all of a sudden their reputation take a shit, wouldn't it? You see, so these things are incredibly important. Reputation, trust, and especially in consciousness work. See, how do you build that? Well, be honest, straightforward, have integrity, and then keep doing that and never mess with it, and people will start to trust you and to actually deliver them value with a genuine intent for them to get something. They'll also trust you. You see? And you have to do it for real. Otherwise, it's not trust. It's like, okay, I trust them, but I know they're going to fuck with me. You see? And that's how you build that. Yeah, so there's some things there. Is success ultimately determined by how effectively you manipulate others besides offering a good service or product? Well, it depends on how you determine success. So you'd have to get clear on what it is that determines success for you, because success isn't fixed. Now, a successful business means it runs, makes money, and survives. That's successful. But if success is also then put through the filter of, well, am I being straight and ethical? Well, then success might look very different. But as a business, in order to succeed, it needs to be able to sustain itself and increase, money. That's the business success as far as I'm concerned. But then commensurate with that, you see, I'm just looking at business itself, not business like conscious business or selling cars, or just like business period. Whatever you're doing has to sustain itself. Now, success in consciousness business, well, one of the things I use is like, well, did people get more conscious? Did the service I provide actually provide that? Did it get across? Did people actually get it, make a change, get more powerful? Good. Then I'm successful at that. See? But then in order for it to be a business, it has to also match up with money. So then there's that aspect as well. But success is ultimately determined by you. You choose what it is that successful is, and then you either stick to that or don't, you see? So that's up to you. You'd have to question that for yourself. Like, success isn't fixed one way or another. It just depends on how you frame it up. And how to be effective in this domain? Well, I would start with really finding a way to create value for people. And then get a lot of people knowing about what you do and a lot of people recognizing that what you have is valuable. And perhaps eventually you can build up a reputation for yourself as that and build up a following or a group of people that know about you and are, buying what you're selling, basically. And do it. If it's a conscious business, you have to, the standard I have is like mastery, excellence, integrity, honesty. You're straight with people. You keep your word and you deliver genuine value. And then the trick is getting that message out to more and more people so that they can pay you for that service. See, and that is how I would go about, starting to be effective in that domain. And then consistency over time is another, going back to like principles. Consistency over time seems to be another powerful aspect towards success. Because if you do a little bit and then stop and then do a little bit more and then stop and then it doesn't build anything up. You see, like if you're going to be lifting weights, you have to do consistency over time. Then you can get the big muscles. See, but business seems very similar to that. You have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again until it works, making changes along the way. Like McDonald's French fries come out the same way all the time, everywhere. That's how you know it's McDonald's French fries. You see? Otherwise, it would be McDonald's inconsistent fries, and who the fuck cares? Like, I don't know what I'm getting. You see? But if with you, they know what you're getting, and they know it's powerful, and it's a service, and they really appreciate it, good. And make it so good that they'll want to tell other people, because it seems like word of mouth is the best form of marketing for at least this kind of endeavor. You see, because trust is a huge deal. Yeah. So that's what I've got for you there. I kind of went to some different places. If you aren't educated in business, I would highly recommend also reading a lot of books about business and reading a lot of books about marketing and study people on YouTube and how they think about things and how they see the world, and then somehow apply their business sense, which may not match your chosen profession or domain in which you're going to work. But they're thinking like some business people, they do business no matter what it is they do business and they do it well, and try to grasp how they think, how they perceive, what they see in the world, and use their knowledge and apply it to your own business. And hopefully that will because if you can see the world the way somebody else sees it and they're effective in that domain, well, you will also be able to be effective in that domain. If you can make the same distinctions, you can make the same distinctions, and that reality will be present for you, same as it is for them, as if. And then you will be successful. See, but then the trick might be being able to apply that with their principled knowledge to what you're doing. And that could be a stretch, because depending on what it is you're doing, it may make that more challenging. So that's what I've got for you there. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you want to get serious, check the links in the description. I've got a free course, paid course, all that stuff. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I would appreciate it. I'm intentionally trying to build it up. Links are in the description. If you actually want to get serious, come here and do a workshop. They will kick your butt in the best ways. Or not. Okay? So that's it. I'm Brendan Lee with thebrendanlee.com in support of Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, which is founded by Peter Ralston. Till next time, I will catch you later. Thank you.